So I'm going to start the recording. Hello, welcome to Witchy Wednesday at RhomanysRealm with me. I'm Romany. Hello. It's a bit chilly here today, hence the gloves are out. And I have a special unboxing for you today. You will be familiar, I'm sure, with my unboxing videos for Terry Fennick at Crafting Magic, who does the pagan parcel unboxing things. You know what I mean. I get them. I pay for mine. I don't get them free or anything like that. Hello, Deb. And I unbox them because I like showing people what's in them. And I think they're very, very good quality for money. Well, he contacted me recently and said, I'm bringing out a new box. Would you like to try one? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So, what kind of box do you think it is? From Crafting Magic. It's different to the current subscriber box. The current subscriber box is stuff for your witchy things. This one is a little different. I'm just checking the people just to see if Terry's here yet. This is the box. Comes exactly like the existing boxes. I'm not sure how much it is. He hasn't told me how much it is. I think this is just a demo. But it is a spell box. Whoa! So rather than just getting stuff, pretty gothy things, I would like a pretty gothy things box. We'll see if you'll do that next. Pretty gothy things box. Although technically, you know, pagan parcel is a pretty gothy things box. No, this is a spell box. So instead of just getting nice stuff to use on your altar or craft with or whatever, you know, getting your herbs and things, this is a dedicated spell box. So you have specific spells. It says here, I'll read it for you because I don't think you can read it on the screen. Welcome to the Crafting Magic spell box. Crafting Magic would like to introduce you to our brand new type of monthly parcel, the Crafting Magic spell box. Each box will contain, hi Andrea, each box will contain 5 different spells and items needed to perform each spell. Each spell originates from either traditional spell casting, such as not magic, or from a collection of spell books not available in shops or online. Each month, the spell will be an assortment of spell themes from protection to confidence, bath teas to crystal works, oils, witch balls, and more. All spells will be an asset to any witch's grimoire or book of shadows. How cool is that? So every month, 5 spells. So in this month's box, or in this first box that he sent me, we have a luck spell, an oil to heal a broken heart, to heal a rift spell, a cord wish spell, and a spell to attract like-minded people. Now, for those of you who are on the more advanced spectrum, these may sound a little bit basic. However, Terry has said that over time this box will get more complex. So we're starting off with the basic spells, and you know, like with the pagan parcel, you know, you start off with basic stuff like an altar cloth, and eventually, you know, you get more and more ritual items for your altar and more complex herbs. You know, we started off with the basic herbs like chamomile and stuff, and now we're getting into things that some of them I've never used. So, you know, it's going to gradually progress over time. So if you're a beginner, you'll be able to learn as you go along, and if you're not a beginner, you'll be able to, you know, any of these spells that you've already got a spell that you use for this that works, you can always break these down and use the components in something else. Or you can use these spells just as basics to cast for other people, or even pass on to other people who you know might be interested. So this is how it comes, all boxed up as usual, and each bag is a spell in its own right. So I'm just going to take the whole thing out because I think that's easier. Keep the tissue paper, obviously. Bin the cardboard. Now, for those of you who don't get the crafting magic, I keep turning it up the wrong way. For those of you who don't get the crafting magic boxes, the pagan parcels, Terry and his partner Julie are practicing themselves. They grow their own herbs, they make their own stuff. They don't make the basic candles like this, but they do make some candles. They craft their own oils, they make their own inks, they do all sorts of things, and anything that's wood is usually handcrafted by Terry. So like the wooden pens that we had, he crafted those himself out of willow wood. So it's got a very personal touch to it. It's not like a standard kind of, we bought all this stuff from China in a big box and we've just, you know, given it to you. They actually grow all their own herbs and things like that. So all of these spells, he says, have got specially grown herbs. If they've got oils, they've been charged under the correct moon or whatever that you need for the spell. And he did actually say that one of these has oil in, I think it's this one, that it was charged under the most recent full moon, the snow moon, which is quite a powerful moon. Okay, so that looks like the most basic one. And then we've got wooden oil and a ribbon. That's probably a fairly easy one next. And those are anointing ones. So let me start at the beginning. So this one is a basic cord wish spell. It's a very simple spell. You've probably heard it before. It's actually the rhyme that goes with it, or the spell that goes with it, is actually a skipping spell, a skipping rhyme as well. You've probably seen this in books before. By not of one spell is begun, by not of two the wish comes true, and all that. And as you say, you make your wish, you express your wish in whatever way it is, and then you put 9 knots into the cord, saying the spell to focus the energy on whatever it is you want. So that's a very basic beginner's spell. It's one of the first things you learn. Cord spells, anointing spells, and candle magic, which is pretty much what we've got here. Okay, so that's a very basic spell, comes with its own cord, nice and simple. Then we've got a luck spell. Now this is another simple spell. This looks like a, yeah, this is just ribbons and cinnamon. So you've got 2 cinnamon sticks and a green ribbon. And it says, tie the cinnamon sticks together with a green ribbon and rub your palms together, saying this particular spell that goes with it. It tells you what to do with the cinnamon sticks afterwards to cure the spell, if you like. A lot of spells are a little bit like paints, if you like, or like when you make a cake, okay, you don't just make the cake, turn it out, ice it and cut it up and eat it. You make the cake, you allow it to cool, then you turn it out onto a rack and you allow it to stand. Then you ice it, and then normally you would air it, you would put it in an airtight container overnight for the following day. You've got to give it time to do its thing, and spells are the same. So along with the spell, it's also got information down below on why you're using this particular stuff, which is very good. I like that. Cinnamon is used to attract things and is a very powerful spice that is often found in luck and money spells. And the colour green, which is your ribbon, has a balancing energy that's used in money and luck. It's often associated with luck due to lucky four-leaf clovers, amongst other things. So it's a very simplified version. Okay, it's not telling you everything you need to know about cinnamon. It's not telling you everything you need to know about the colour green and why green ribbon is good or everything like that. You've got a white candle because white is neutral. You could just as easily substitute that for a green candle if you're doing rather than a luck spell, if you wanted to convert it to something like a money spell because you need to pay a particular bill and you're not going to have enough in time. You know, there's a difference between help me fulfill my need and please give me some money. So if you were working a money spell, that would be something like, you know, I might work a money spell, for instance, somebody might ask me for a commission, which would bring in extra money. So I've still got to work for it. It's not just I win the lottery overnight or something silly like that. But, you know, I've focused my energy. I've said, look, I need a little bit of luck. I've got a bill coming up. I need to pay it. Haven't got the money right now. Could do with a little bit of juju going on here to give me something to go on. And, you know, that might be in the form of bringing you extra work or, you know, an opportunity or an advance on a commission or a payment that you weren't expecting or that was overdue and you weren't expecting it now or whatever. So there's lots of different modifications you can do to very basic spells like this as you work on them. And even if you're not a beginner, something like this, you can convert the spells to improve them. So, you know, what else could you use along with cinnamon to fulfill whatever it is that you're asking for luck in? Perhaps you need luck for a job interview. What colour would be appropriate along with green to use for a job interview? So you can go off and research that and say, well, what do I need? You know, for me, I would add a piece of turquoise because turquoise allows you to express yourself and speak openly, and it puts you in a good way of a good communication. Hi, Rain. It gives you good communication qualities. It brings your best qualities forward. So for me, if I was doing this for a job interview luck, I would wrap a piece of turquoise in with this and wrap that up in the ribbon as well. Okay, so just because they're basic spells and you might be beyond them doesn't mean you can't improve them or add to them or make them more advanced. And obviously, if this is basic stuff to you and you already have all this, you can also always just break down the components, like I said. So then you've got some anointing spells. Now, this is not a candle spell. So I'm just trying to see which one. Okay, I would say, right, this is a basic candle spell. Take something, use it as your focus point, light a candle, say your intentions, etc., etc., leave it to cure. So that's progressing on from your basic not magic with focus and fire. This is essential oil and herbs. So let me just have a quick read here. It is chamomile and geranium with a piece of rose quartz, apparently. Although it doesn't, tiny, yeah, it's a tiny little bit of rose quartz because it's to go in the oil. So you put the rose quartz in the oil, charge the ingredients, tells you how to do that. Add the oil to the bath or to anoint your candles. And then again, it tells you what is in the oil. So it's olive oil, geranium, orange, and chamomile herbs. So it tells you what chamomile is used for. It's a healing herb. Geranium, which is used for negative energy and increasing energy of good memories and good feelings. Orange oil for its uplifting aroma, and olive oil, which I think is protection. Yes, peace, protection, and soothing. Okay, so that's a basic anointing. Not anointing a candle, anointing yourself. So it's basically a ritual bath spell. Then you move on to, and again, you don't necessarily need to heal a broken heart. You know, Broken hearts come in all forms. It doesn't necessarily mean you've, you know, broken up with somebody in a love sense. You could be going through grief, or you could be suffering a setback, or, you know, you could have lost a pet or something. You know, it doesn't have to be just one thing. There could be all sorts of things. Someone could have let you down, and you may be feeling that real kind of despondency of, oh, this is really bad. So you may need that uplifting sense, but you could also use this as a ritual oil just before you do a ritual, because it's for healing and protection and soothing and releasing of negative energies and negative memories and all that kind of thing. That's exactly what you do before you do a ritual, for those of you who do rituals. So for a major ritual, you might want to have a healing bath, but with the intent of cleansing and healing and protection for the ritual, not for healing a broken heart kind of stuff. Okay, so again, just because it says that's what it's for doesn't mean you can't tweak it, even as a beginner. You know, if you already do this kind of stuff and you are intuitive about it, and you look at it and you say, well, okay, it says it's for a broken heart, but if all of these things, healing, happiness, releasing negative energy, cleansing qualities, improving your mood, you know, I'm suffering with depression, I'm feeling a little bit down, perhaps this will help me, you know, gain some of my confidence back again, you know, and just do it with a different intent. Trust your instincts, do your research, and you can't really go wrong with this kind of basic stuff. So then from anointing yourself, you move to candles. So what is this one? This is a anointing candle spell, okay? This is for attracting like-minded people. A lot of people would class this as a love spell. I've seen books class these kind of things as love spells, but you don't have to just use love spells to... I'm against using love spells, personally. Attracting love, self-love, loving yourself, that's okay. Trying to control other people's reactions and specifically aiming it at one person, not good. However, attracting like-minded people, you can use what they call love spells to find friends, make friends in your local area. Perhaps you're feeling lonely, perhaps your friends live a while away from you, perhaps you, I don't know, perhaps you suffered a loss in your family and you would like to connect with other people who have suffered a loss. Perhaps you're sick and you would like to connect with other people who are going through the same stuff as you. Maybe you just like to walk your dog and you'd like to connect with some other dog walkers. You know, this is the kind of thing that you can do to bring about that kind of energy. And love spells and attraction spells can be used for that, not just for love and romance and all that kind of thing. Like Dee Dee and her colouring books, you're the boss of your spell. Absolutely, Rat Lady. We might have to start a book like Dee Dee's got. Quotes to live by. You are the boss of your spell. Just because somebody else tells you this is what the spell is for does not mean you can't change it or refocus it or add something to it or take something away from it. So this is anointing the candle with oil, pink candle for love and self-worth. It's got marigold petals, these look like. Yep, these are for popularity and admiration and respect and all that kind of stuff. And then you have some olive oil, which again is for protection and peace and that kind of stuff. And all of these oils, he said, have been charged under the last full moon. So they've got the Crafting Magic label, so they've been made by Terry and Julie, packaged by Terry and Julie, charged by Terry and Julie. Okay, if you want to add that to that, that's fine. Go ahead. So this is a basic rub the oil onto the candle, which is what anointing is for those who don't know. Anointing is basically just rubbing oil on stuff. Oh, you mix the oil and the marigold petals together, and then you anoint the candle with it. Then you say the spell. You need a mirror. Blah blah blah. I'm not giving the full spells out, because if you want the spells, buy the box. You know, I think that's only fair to Terry. You know that, like he says, these are not just spells that have come out of a book somewhere. These are spells that either they've done or have come out of books that are not commercially available. So, which I would suspect is like Coven books and stuff like that, or perhaps even their own Book of Shadows. And then it tells you here all the different correspondences. So you've already got your olive oil here. So peace, protection and soothing qualities, because if you're going to attract like-minded people, you want them to be bringing peaceful, like-minded energy into your life. You don't want chaos. Marigold petals used for increasing popularity and admiration among people, and respect and all that kind of stuff. I think I said that, sorry. And pink is the colour of friendship and love. You could use a light green if you're wanting to meet people in a group for socialising, such as a book club, a moot, a cooking class, etc. So he even says you can change this according to what you need. He's starting to put in suggestions for how you can tweak the spells yourself. You resonate with how you tweak or think out the box with these spells. I think it's just, I don't think it's because I don't buy spells like this and use them, if that makes sense. I am at the stage where I craft my own spells, and I have been for a long time. So it's really just knowing your stuff. If you know your basics, your colours, your basic correspondences for your oils and your herbs and your crystals and all that sort of stuff. And you don't even need to be, you know, you don't need to know every single crystal or every single herb. You can look up what herb would be best for a particular situation as and when you need it. But knowing that chamomile and lavender are relaxing, and peppermint and, you know, that kind of stuff, and fennel is for well-being and alertness. Avocado oil is brain food, you know, that kind of stuff. It's handy to know all that, and then you can put these things together, because that's all it is. It's just knowing what to put together. The chants and things is really just to focus your energy. By the time you're working spells at the level I'm working, you don't even use a chant. I don't even bother using a chant. I mostly meditate and focus. It's all about putting things together, if that makes sense, rather than, for instance, with this, there's a set thing to it. You mix the oil with the herbs. You rub the herbs and the oil on the candle. You imagine what you want to bring into your life. You burn the candle. You do this, you do that, you do that. I would do that as in, you know, I would be thinking of all that while I was rubbing the oil into the marigold, without even needing a chant. You know, it's just focusing energy. The chant is just there to help you focus your energy. If you think of it in terms of, like, when you're a kid and you're learning to dance or skip or play a game, you have a chant that you do, haven't you? You've got various different chants that you do for skipping to keep you in time, because if you're not in time, you can't skip properly in a group. Yeah, it is a great refresher even for the seniors, because how long is it since you've done a basic spell like this? Sometimes you get so embroiled in doing things the complicated way, you forget that sometimes all you need is a bit of string in the right colour. Bit of string, maybe a little bit of oil, you know. You can also combine things. So this is an attract a like-minded people. This is a make-a-wish spell. You could rub the marigolds for popularity and admiration into the oil, rub it on your fingers, soak the string in it, and then knot the string, wishing for a new friend in your life. You know, somebody who's going to be peaceful and be nice to you, and you can admire each other, and you can respect each other, and you can, you know, be popular with each other if you like. You know, perhaps you need a one-on-one friend rather than just friends in general. Perhaps you need a girlfriend to talk to, you know, that kind of thing. You can change these about according to what you need. And of course, a chord spell, it's a basic spell, but it's a good one for boosting. So if you need, you know, let's say you're doing this one for your good luck, and you've decided that you're going to wrap in a piece of turquoise because you've got a job interview, so, and you want good luck in your job interview, you don't necessarily want to get the job. So you wouldn't necessarily cast a spell saying, I want to get this job, because you might get to the job interview and find the job isn't what you want. So again, it's about checking your intention. You want enough luck to be able to perhaps come across in the way you want, to find out everything you need to about the job, to, you know whether it's the right fit for you. You want your turquoise for being able to communicate in the best way possible. A little bit of luck to perhaps get offered the job. But you might want to boost it with a wish spell to say, you know, I really wish that along with, you know, having a good luck in job interview and being able to express myself, I'm also able to recognize if this job is not for me, and if I should turn it down, should I be offered it, or whether I should not be worried if, you know, if I'm not offered it, how to, you know, keep looking and be mindful of what else might be out there for me, you know. So you could boost it with that. There's nothing wrong with doing things like that. You could even combine this one with this one. You know, if you're looking for, again, I'm going to use the job interview. You could use it for anything, but it's just an easy basis to start from. So you're wrapping your cinnamon sticks, you're adding your turquoise for communication, you're doing your luck spell. But then, instead of the white candle, it says here, if you're wanting to meet people in a group for socialising, okay, well, perhaps you'd like to work with people who are like-minded. Perhaps you'd like to work with whatever it is you do, other artists, other computer programmers, other accountants, other book lovers, perhaps in a company, a larger company that has social events for its staff where you can socialise with other people that you work with, because you don't really know that many other people where you are. You know, you can get to know some friends in a new place through your work. So you could swap in a green candle for this, and then you could anoint your candle, your green candle, with the olive oil for peace and protection, and your marigold for popularity, admiration and respect. So you're combining all these elements of, you know, finding, perhaps you've already found out that this actually is the job that you really, really want. And you're absolutely set on that. You'd like the luck, you'd like the communication, but you'd also like to attract them to you and say, help them to see that you are like-minded people, that you are the kind of social person who, you know, if they put on an event, you're going to join in. If they do a charity fundraiser, you're going to join in. You know, you're not just somebody who's just going to turn up for work and then go home. Okay, so it's for beginners and advanced. This is pretty good. I hope I don't sound like I'm trying to sell you the box. I'm always very aware of that stuff with this. I'm not trying to do that. I don't get anything from, well, I got the box to review, but I don't get anything from Terry for doing this. Other than he says thank you very nicely. You know? I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm just trying to explain to you how you could use it, just in case, you know, because some people might look at stuff like this and go, well, I don't know about using spells. What do I do with that? Or, well, I'm only a beginner, you know. So this is a more advanced spell. You're going to your next level here, where you've got candles, your oil, and you've got a crystal. So this is a charging spell. As soon as you've got a crystal, you've got something that needs to be charged. Think of crystals as little rechargeable batteries. So you soak in the energy into your crystal, And sorry, I got distracted by a massive massive list of capital letters. I'll come back to that in a second. You're not just anointing your candle here, you're charging your crystal, because your crystal will absorb all your energy, focus it in, and then boom, you would unleash it on your spell, as it were. And it's a clear quartz crystal, which for beginners is the perfect one. Don't worry about, oh, which one should I use? Which one should I? Don't worry about it. Get a crystal quartz. Get a couple of them. Get different sizes. Get a crystal quartz wand as well while you can. And, you know, if that's all you ever have, that will do. So this is a Heal a Rift spell. So again, we've got pink for friendship. Remember, that was in our last box. We've also got oils, anointing oil, olive and lavender. And then you've got your crystal oil crystal in here. I can't see all of the page, but oh right, okay, it's more of what we call a casting spell. So with this one, you're anointing your candles and, you know, lighting them and everything else, but as well as that, you write on a piece of paper about the situation. So this is a good one for, you know, if you've fallen out with a friend, for instance. Healing a rift. It might be a rift in a relationship. It could be a rift in with a friendship. It could just be that you're, you know, arguing with yourself. This could be a self-love spell. You know, if you're beating yourself up over something, you could say, well, you know, my good shoulder and my bad shoulder are arguing, so let's heal the rift. Let's deal with it and move on. And stop beating ourselves up over it. So la 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 la, right on top of the crystal. I think it's, I can't see all of it, but it involves it involves two candles that are anointed, and it's healing a rift. So I would guess that it's two candles that you start off a certain amount apart. And it does say you place the paper in between the candles and place the crystal quartz on top of it. So you'd be bringing the candles in together over a period of time, I would imagine. I can't get this piece of hessian out the way enough to see. I would guess that's what it is. That's normally anything to do with rifts or bringing things together or attracting stuff, like with your cinnamon. Two pieces of cinnamon, tie them together. That attracts luck. That's bringing luck in. You know, anything like that. If it's tying things together, anointing things, burying things, it's to do with attraction, charging, bringing things in. If it's to do with setting fire to stuff, it would be for letting go. Now that's a good example of this. So perhaps it's not really a rift, it's just an old argument that won't die. Everything's still okay, but this one thing will not die. So you could use this spell in the same way, but instead of having the candles and bringing them together and having one thing about what's going on and how you want to heal it, you could have your views on one side and the other person's views on the other, and you could burn them in the candles and then bring the candles together with the crystal to recharge the friendship. Okay, so it's lots of easy ways to... Oh, I've managed to do this now. Here we go. Oh, it's got a forgiveness chant. Okay. Forgiving you and forgiving myself. Hence the two candles. You've got to do it from both sides. Letting go of negative feelings, of who is right and who's wrong. Focus on what that person means to you. Bring the candles closer each day and light them. So there you go. So that is the very first. I'm not sure if this one is oh, I've broken the bag. I'm not sure if this one is available as a selling thing or if this is just a sample. But this is the first box he's done with these basic spells, and these are I would think these are 5 pretty basic spells, but with a little bit of added bump. So you've got your absolute beginner, your dabbler, your, yeah, I can do that, your, ooh, I could change that, and ooh, I can use this for all sorts of things. I don't have information on how much this is. I will have to look that up and put it in the down bar below. I would think, don't quote me on this, but I would think it would be about similar to the other box, and the other box is $15.95 including postage. I would think this would be round about the same. I can't see it being a huge amount different. He does try to keep his prices reasonable. I'm just going to stick a little bit of washi tape on this because it's going to keep coming out the bottom, and then I'll lose stuff. There we go. And even if you break down the components, obviously you've still got the spells. So even for the basic spells, you could still put these in your Book of Shadows, or even put them in a little clip binder. These aren't quite A5, but they're not A6 either. What size are they? Oh, that's an A5 piece of paper. There we go. Yeah, they're not quite A5. So if you can find an A5 binder, A5 Filofax, something like that, you could punch holes in them and put them in there, and, you know, categorise them so that you've got a little kind of spell book reference, which is different to a Book of Shadows. And then in your Book of Shadows, you can write in all your things that you learn. So you can have a page on, what have we got? We've got pink candles, we've got candles, we've got pink candles, we've got white candles, coloured candles, and anointing candles with oil. So there's your Book of Shadows things. Candle magic, basic candle magic. How do you do it? What is it? Candle colours. What colours correspond to what in different things? And don't forget that just because it says a particular colour doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use a particular colour for you. Okay? Just because pink is for friendship doesn't mean you can't use it in a money spell if you're talking about, you know, perhaps bringing business in. You might use pink and green to bring business in to you because it's your company. You work for yourself, maybe. And maybe pink is your favourite colour, and pink represents you in the spell. Okay, so that's the kind of thing you need to put in your Book of Shadows. My favourite colour is purple, therefore I'm going to use a purple candle whenever I want to represent me. That sort of thing. You know what I mean. My favourite is actually bright pink, like shocking pink. I use shocking pink for me. And if I ever do couples or family spells or anything like that, I tend to use black because Martin's a Scorpio, so everything about him is black. So, any questions? While you have questions, I will read your comments. DD and her colouring books. You're the best boss of your spell. Yes, I said that earlier, didn't we? Or we did. Helpful information. Resonate with how you tweak or think out the box with the spells. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just knowing what goes with what, and therefore how you can change what you've got in front of you. And from there, the next step is pulling things yourself and making your own spells. But obviously having these to begin with, just casting these spells is good for beginners. Tweaking them is good for more advanced. And when you get to the level that I'm at, you can pretty much make it up as you go along, as long as you know your correspondences. All about focusing your energy, yes. A great refresher for seniors of the group, yes. Like I say, it's good for getting back to basics sometimes if you just want to do something simple. Not selling, just enabling. Oh, that's all right then. Enabling is allowed. You know me. I hope by now I don't advocate anything that I don't think is any good. I think this is a really good range of spells for a very first spell box for beginners, and I can see how they can progress it as they go on, because even these more complicated spells, you could progress this one, 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 and next box everybody's going to have something that's a bit progressed again. And even to have exactly the same spells but with more progressed and advanced herbs or symbolism or whatever, you know, that can all, you could carve runes in your candles and things like that. So there's plenty of scope for getting more and more advanced. You're not monopolising my chat, Rain. You're just being chatty. You're always chatty. You're interested, Jess. Okay. Jessica, as in Jessica. Jessica. I don't know. Anyway. So, if you're interested in that, go to craftingmagic.co.uk and look up their spell box. I don't think, well, I was on the website yesterday, and I didn't see anything on there, but that doesn't mean he hasn't put it up yet. He did say he wanted to send me one in advance, so he might not have launched them yet. But keep an eye on craftingmagic.co.uk. I believe they have a newsletter you can sign up for if you are interested in these, and I have no doubt when he sends out the next subscription boxes for Pagan Parcel, he'll probably also put a note in there saying, you know, we've got the spell box coming out as well. So, and if all else fails, you can find Terry in my Witchy Wednesday group on Facebook, and you can always come and join us and ask him any questions there. He does check into the group pretty much on a daily basis. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to ask questions below, and either myself or Terry will answer, and one of us will get back to you at some point. I think that's it. So I'm going to stop the recording here and move on to the next thing. So thank you for joining me, and I will be back very soon with some more